Hello.
We have a script.
I told you not to. Might as well put it now. Hello and welcome to the AllSaints show with myself, SaintsKnight, and already the ignoramus that is Gamerlord and I. And it's been quite a while since we actually did an AllSaints show.
Because we've been busy with personal lives and we've had other projects going on in the meanwhile.
Yeah, like the F1 show, check it out, and Nollywood Worker and all that sort of stuff, and something that will be planned for another video, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you haven't. But yeah, we're just gonna talk about whatever we feel like talking about. I've only got a few things I want to talk about. You've got yours in there. That's
My
your
palace.
script. That's your script. This is mine.
my man pals.
Yeah, and thanks for telling me I have a script, by the way. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you do want to keep seeing the AllSaints show on the channel, you know what to do. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. And
Peace!
No, that's at the end. And you do realize, whenever you yawn, your shirt was halfway up. Stop!
You must all see. You must.
Thankfully, there's no belly button involved in that. So, you know what? Thanks. Is there anything I'll start off with you, since I always start off the conversation today. Is there anything you want to discuss, like that's on your mind?
Yes, I would like to discuss that. You should go first.
That I should go first.
Okay, I'm good. Recently, while we were busy, there was
Quite a lot of deaths.
like
Celebrity deaths.
celebrity deaths, but more importantly, there was a shooting done at YouTube headquarters by a disturbed woman who, for God knows whatever reason, thought she could get what she wanted by shooting her way through. Sadly, there was death, and even
Wasn't there one person that died, or
two, herself included.
there was two and about 6 injured or something like that?
Yes, she killed herself, which, I mean, a lot of people are going on about how she was clearly psychotic and all that, but people also forget she was a troubled woman who clearly had too much stress. What she did was unforgivable, but
I mean, if YouTube should have seen it coming.
it's not a matter of seeing it coming, it's a matter of it shouldn't have to happen in the first place.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like YouTube, if they have like more better like policies. I mean, if you even seen like some of the YouTube channels that are actually out there, like Nazi propaganda channels, and like hell, there's even some Islamic channels out there that are like filled with like ISIS beheadings and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Check them out, they're good. Kidding.
Which I mean, this
No,
is
they're
what
not.
I mean. YouTube say that they're trying to be kid friendly, advertiser friendly, and yet these channels still exist, which is stupid. I mean, what if they done to actually make it child friendly, make it so that the system's worse? That means demonetize everything, which means we don't get monetized. We had to get monetized until Logan Paul. Thanks, Logan, for that. And even apart from that, we still get demonetized every single way. But hell, our stuff is practically tame compared to what is mostly on the internet these days.
Yes.
Clearly, something has to be done.
Yes, but it's a matter. I think we shouldn't discourage the status quo, because I think YouTube is better than it was 4 years ago when they had
No, I think it's
YouTube
worse.
Plus.
You see, the reason that I still think it's bad because YouTube is filled with hypocrites. I mean, you get PewDiePie.
Let's not go name calling people who could easily get us removed. There are people out there.
Okay, a certain YouTuber saying the N word. He's really popular, so he gets fined and he nearly gets his channel taken away. What happens? Fortnite streamer says it and the same thing. Nothing happens. Anyway, I'm sorry. I wanted to go on a bit of a tangent. You were gonna say before I interrupted?
Yeah, next time don't interrupt.
Apologies.
What there was sadly a lot of death, and though molestation is terrible, it is, in my opinion, not to blame. This woman, there are other ways to go around, but she chose the most hard response. And true, she was a bad person in the end, but that doesn't dismiss the fact that she was clearly troubled. Meaning, there's a lot of families in mourning and are worried, but she herself was in some ways a victim of monetization, but her victims weren't a victim of monetization.
Yeah,
she
they were
acted out when she shouldn't have.
So what did she actually want? Like, is there any reason why?
They were taking off her videos and she accused them of being racism.
There are better things to do, like to respond to that rather than shooting them. I mean, we've had to respond to that a bit, actually.
And also on the news lately, there's a lot of criticism over in Parliament about Theresa May, our Prime Minister of
What's she
United
done now?
Kingdom and Northern Ireland. She has helped the airstrikes in Syria.
Oh yeah, she
did it without Parliament's permission.
That, and she actually supported Donald Trump, which, if you don't know, Donald Trump actually launched, didn't he launch airstrikes on Syria?
The problem with Syria is it's been 7 years since the conflict began.
Of course.
And 7 years ago, the rebels were good people trying to fight for a free life from a corrupt dictator called Al-Assad. But as they begged for aid, and they begged, and there were gassings even back then, but everybody refused to do anything, leaving them to their own. And eventually, the only people that came to help them were people just as bad as Al-Assad.
If not worse,
called ISIS, and they trained them. There's been now several different rebel groups now. But what the tragedy is, we've created somebody that could have been an ally into our enemy. They hate us for abandoning them. Meaning, if we are declaring war, if we're doing strikes against Al-Assad because he's gassing people, that means we let ISIS take control if we stop Al-Assad. But if we help Al-Assad despite everything he's done, we stop ISIS from growing in strength. It's a matter of choosing which evil.
Although honestly, I mean, yeah, it's like that, but isn't the more evil foul thing the thing that created the evil? Because if we're honest,
Al-Assad's father?
No, I mean like Britain.
Oh, that time.
I mean, honestly, even Britain's done a lot of shady stuff.
But you know where it all comes from? All the religion hatred? It comes from France.
Really?
France created they started the Crusades.
Oh yeah, they started the Crusades against.
Which is the reason why our people are hated so much by the Muslims, because the French and then eventually the English invaded their lands, stole their women, killed their children, and robbed them of their gold, leaving one of the most advanced civilizations in the world to nothing more than a desertly rubble.
Hell, it's even like.
And now, these people who have suffered thousands of years of abuse have felt that the only way to get their point across is through violence.
Because that's the only way they know.
Because they say in the news, it isn't a holy war. It isn't a holy war. But it is a holy war.
It is. I mean, if you stop to think about it.
Look at the accidents in England last year and France in the last 3 years.
What with the whole Manchester bombing, London bombing?
Was there a bombing in London? I thought it was a car crash. Hit and runner?
No, there was a bomb. I think there was like a bomb in a van.
I know there was a
van. I think it was like there's something to do with a van. I know that much.
Yeah.
No, it was a van driver who knocked people over. Who
At
was
the bridge. Yes.
Yeah, who was like a believer in ISIS.
Yes,
and all that.
he was an extremist believer, but he was not a member. But the thing is that as wrong as they're doing, we are not the good guys, but we're not the bad guys. They are doing what they think is right, but they are following people who is leaders of their religion who are corrupting them and convincing them this is the way their God wants it by using it for their own greed and power.
I mean, there's no in this there's no right and wrong, is there?
Well, you shouldn't kill children. That's wrong.
But yeah, you shouldn't kill children, but you shouldn't. If we were in an ideal world, then honestly, this would have been sorted a long time ago. But since it's not a perfect world, there are no right sides on this. Nobody is like without fault.
True.
And the old saying is, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
But
So-
there is no friends left.
Yeah. Well, so now the saying is, the enemy of my enemy is
My enemy's enemy.
my enemy's enemy. Try saying that 3 times very fast. Oh,
Enemy's
commenters.
enemy.
I said commenter. Yeah. But a lot of news isn't really that good, though.
Been very grim for the international world. On the plus side, puppies are getting adopted.
On the negative side, though, one puppy, the Queen's Corgi, the last of the Corgis, is dead.
At least the French won't be able to apply for king.
I mean, and actually, you know what? On a more brighter note, you know Prince Charles?
Yes,
Actually, you know the way that the Commonwealth needs either a leader or a representative for the UK? Apparently, the Queen's actually on board for having Prince Charles take over for the Commonwealth.
Commonwealth is... What the fuck do they ever do?
I mean,
What the
the
fuck's the Commonwealth?
Commonwealth is pointless. I mean, everything's done
It's just a
by...
bunch of fancy leaders getting over to have a laugh every now and again. Have
So
a
is the
tea
G20
party.
summit.
G20 is a bit mad.
No, actually, you know what it's like? It's kind of like our parliament here in Northern Ireland. Stormont.
Problem with that, this whole UN and all, they are created to enforce the law throughout every countries and ensure equality.
Yeah.
Yet, several of their leaders happen to be from China, which is the biggest breach of human rights in the world.
Exactly.
They have broke more human rights than anyone, and not to mention the fact that they have refused to aid in Syria, except giving, and when Russia did the incident with Russia and Ukraine, they didn't declare or offer aid to Ukraine. All they said was, you're going to slap and arrest and we'll not let you sell stuff here.
Hell, even if the United Nations actually do intervene, it's too late anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
The damage had already been done. I mean, there is a right thing to do in these circumstances, but it's all a matter of timing.
Yes.
If you get your timings wrong, people would see it as a half-assed attempt to make amends, going, "Oh, we're sorry for not helping you whenever you needed it, whenever you were screaming in pain and all that sort of stuff." And it's... I think that should actually... I think that, like, the United Nations and all should actually be, like, include more countries that aren't Chinese-based.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get one for the there should be like one member for each continent.
No, that'd be a conflict of interest, especially with the Chinese-Japanese hatred. The fact that Africa is such a diverse country, and South Americans can't even stand each other.
Do you know how many countries are there in the UN?
Probably around, I'd say maybe 60.
60 countries.
Well, 60 representatives.
Well, 60 representatives for a certain amount of countries, and yet with that, of course, there would be difficulties along the way. I mean, you try and get Israel and Palestine, and everything's gonna go nuts. Mm-hmm. And now, as if matters are better over here, they're better than they are over there. But
They're better over here than they have been in 50 years ago. Not to mention the simple fact, last year was the calmest year in Northern Ireland's history. There was not a single riot during summer.
And yet this year, Easter, there was
Well,
a huge...
for once, the riots were not caused by my folk, who usually always cause the riot.
It was actually caused by my side, the Catholics.
I was like, why? You're stealing our thunder!
Exactly. I mean, the reason why our argument was like put forward, because we were supposed to have like a parade or something.
Yeah, how does it feel now to get blocked up the street?
Let me put it this way, we got cancelled. So the PSNI was actually like to us, "You're not parading." Our response, "We're going to parade anyway."
Yeah, but the funny thing is, like there's Sinn Féin and all going on, it's a travesty, they're stopping us from going up, and I couldn't help but think, weren't you the ones supporting the Parades Commission all those years ago when it was my side that wanted to go up?
Exactly.
You said you stopped us from going up, but like I've always said, it can't be one way for him and one way for him. It has to be, if you're going to make rules, then you also have to apply to them.
It's like a child having his favorite toy taken away from him. When he sees someone else play it, Mommy, I want. Why does he have my toy? I want to play it.
It is ridiculous in overnight politics.
Actually, you know what? Speaking of ridiculous, I want to talk about feminism.
Oh no! And that's the end of our video. Good night, folks.
I really want to talk about this because if you do not,
today is the day the channel dies.
The channel's been dead for ages. But I want to talk about this website. There was this website called Bully Hunters, that was created by a bunch of feminists who play the game Counter-Strike Global Offensive, or CSGO for short. They created this website called Bully Hunters, who, according to them, supposedly target anyone who, like, in-game misogynists and trolls who harass women. Even though, first of all, it's not only women that get harassed, and second, the definition of harassment is a pretty strong one, and that could be interpreted in many different ways. But anyway, after one day, that website, after it got showcased on a demonstration on Twitch, it got shut down because sponsors and all got actually pulled out, saying that it was a stupid idea, which it was. But I'll get into more stupid stuff later on. And all their social media accounts and even the website itself is gone. So if you try and look right now for bullyhunters.org, I believe it was, you'll have no trace of it. Actually, you know what? And it's even gotten so bad that there was a doctor on Twitter who was watching it, who claimed that they were spreading false data about mental health research in their live stream that they were going out. And whenever the girl was asked, whenever she asked about who their sources were, who we can talk to, to clean it back up, they basically refused to name their sources and just said, tune into the live stream and find out. And the worst thing,
let's skip that story.
There's one last thing. The worst thing about all of this, the host of it, one of the main backers of the anti-harassment thing, was shown to be a troll on Twitter, basically calling everyone fat, who was shouting out homophobic slurs and all that sort of stuff. There, my rant is done.
I just want to say I had not researched any of this, and I'm not sure how much information, if he's got, is correct. If any of it's wrong, I apologise on behalf of us. If it's true, though,
if it's wrong, leave it in the
yourself.
comment. If it's
no, don't leave it in the comment, because that could be a matter of opinion, could easily be proven wrong. I will have Paul do some more research on this after this video is over, and if he is wrong, we will be posting a new video apologising. And if he's right, well, I apologise anyway. Don't kill me.
Okay, so with that being said, on a more bit of a warmer note, actually, do you actually notice how warm it is actually right now as we're recording?
This is our literally the summer.
Yeah, apparently it's actually supposed to be we're supposed to have a heat wave. This is the heat wave, which just started on Monday, I think.
Yeah.
For us. And apparently it's the warmest that it's supposed to get is 28 degrees. You know what makes things worse? You know what actually temperature it is right now?
21.
It's only 16 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be getting worse, and apparently today is actually the warmest day in the United Kingdom for over 70 years. Which means
England's got it even hotter.
yeah, apparently as well, it's actually even hotter than Athens, which is in Greece, hotter than Rome, and
Which is in Rome.
in Italy, and it's actually hotter than Spain, Portugal, and Barbados. All these places that are supposed to be sunny, sunshine, warm.
More importantly, Barbados, one of the best pirates in the film of the Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's Barbaros.
Barbaros is a great island.
Jesus Christ. And apparently, you know, it's actually it's supposed to get continuously warmer until Sunday, where thankfully we'll actually be getting rain. You never thought we'd be doing the weather on this show, would you?
And now you have with our weather watching camera, we're up a tree, we're down a hill, where are we? I said we're up a tree, we're down a hill, where are we? We're in Ballymena.
Only Northern Ireland UTV watchers will actually understand what you're going through.
Fuck you, Frank Mitchell.
And you do realise I've actually got to put on a weather map actually behind this
Yes.
as well as you say that.
Yes.
Is that why you said that?
Yes, because I figured you were talking about whatever, and you always put it on relevant to the news.
You fucking cunt. You fucking piece of shit. Besides,
This is our script.
that was one of the scripts.
That's our other script.
That's a blank page.
Fuck.
Thank you.
That's our other script.
Thank you for that.
That's our other script.
And actually, you know what? I don't think people from I don't know if people abroad would notice the UKIP leader Nigel Farage.
Nigel Farage.
Well, former UKIP leader.
Yes.
He was on a on a podcast, sort of like what we are, but with no video, with Nick Clegg, former Lib Dem leader.
Yep.
And it was actually revealed that UKIP was all full of like this I don't know if you could call it racist.
You mean the old fella?
No, UKIP, the party in general.
Oh no, they're definitely racist.
Yeah, there is this Nigel Farage as well. Would you classify him as a racist?
I'd say no. I'd say, well, maybe, I don't know. I think he's somebody who, like Trump, plays on people's fears.
Yeah. Apparently, people are calling him a hypocrite. Well, him a hypocrite because he has 2 children with a
Black woman?
German wife, German mother, a woman, and their children's passports
Or German?
yes,
Uh-huh.
rather than it being actually an English passport if it was related to Nigel Farage. And then
I
again,
don't see personally why that matters, where your passport's
what
from.
I'm just going to say is, why the hell is this even newsworthy?
We'll obviously have to blame our fella who informs us on the news.
Yes, we hate Jeff. Jeff, we bloody hate you. Check to see if this is actual news. You did?
Fuck you, Jeff.
Exactly. Fuck you, Jeff. Jesus Christ. At least some of the other stuff that we've actually gotten here is actually newsworthy. So good news.
But more importantly, look at us. Jeff can't write for shit. Jeff writes like a retarded 4-year-old who just discovered that a pencil isn't for chewing.
Was that you say, Jeff? Really? You actually think that it's his fault now? He's trying to blame me for this.
No, I can hear him.
Ah, Jesus Christ, Jeff.
Actually, anything else we got to talk about, or is that us?
Well, not really. Well, first of all,
North Korea?
actually, yes, actually, North Korea, apart from the whole Trump saying that we'll stop talks if Korea doesn't show any progress, there may actually be some progress on the whole Korean front.
Because they're offering to take down our nuclear weapons?
No, because some progress, because apparently they're ready to sign, North Korea is apparently ready to sign a peace treaty with the South.
Yeah, it only took 60 years.
Yes. Apparently they're supposed to meet next month at a summit that they're both hosting to potentially sign a treaty. If not sign a treaty, at least start talks on peace.
Right.
Which only took 60 fucking years. And also, before we end, actually, anything you want to talk about? Or?
No, that's everything, yeah.
You know, before we end today's live stream, we have to say, we have to put a tribute to 2 things that died, just while we were talking. Dale Winton, the host of Supermarket Sweep, he died.
60 something.
And also, the second thing that died, the Castro's reign in Cuba.
Yes, the last of the Castros.
Yeah, the last of the Castros.
Raul.
Resigned, I think.
Yes.
And he's leaving his to another person, which would mean the end of an era for Cuba.
No, technically Fidel's was the end of an era. Raul was his baby brother by 9 years or something.
I suppose.
Raul and him were brothers, but it was Fidel who ran the country before his retirement in 2009 and his death in 2016.
Which, I mean, it's
But
gonna be
no, I say we should take a moment of silence for the Royal Corgi.
Moment over. I don't like bugs. Anyways, that is all that we have time for today. I want to thank Gamerlordni and I for joining us.
That's all, folks.
And as always, if you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, and we'll see you in the next one.
Good day, asshole.
Peace.